Retirement planning experts advise there's a handful of mistakes we make all too often. The mistakes, the solutions. It's time for Retirement Matters.
Relationships that build wealth, create opportunities, the right solutions. That's what we do at JN Fund Managers.
We're in pursuit of your financial security.
Portfolio and investment management services for individuals and corporate clients, from wealth building and risk management to preparing for a comfortable retirement. Strong, stable, secure.
We're in pursuit of your success.
Let's talk. JN Fund Managers, your safer, smarter financial partner.
We're joined today by Janice Robinson Longmore, Deputy General Manager, JN Fund Managers Limited. Janice, welcome to Retirement Matters. I saw an article written by you on retirement planning and just knew we had to have you as a guest. Thank you so much for coming.
It's my pleasure to be here today. Thank you for inviting me.
Your article shared solutions to commonly made mistakes and also some misconceptions about retirement planning. I found the very first point you made instructive. You began by saying that many of us, consciously or unconsciously, defer preparing for our retirement. Not a good thing. We ignore or overlook, perhaps, the importance of having a strategy and a plan for life when work ends, also known as retirement.
Not having a plan for retirement is usually the case with a lot of us because, one, we don't want to think about a time when we're not going to be as active and working. And really, when you're young and you're up and down, it's hard to think of yourself as an older person. I certainly know that when I was in my 20s, even imagining myself at 60 was beyond my comprehension. So we put it off, I think, a lot of the time inadvertently, and also some of us, we do have a vague plan but no specific plan as to how we intend to retire, where our income is going to come from, and what lifestyle we're going to maintain once we're on a more fixed income or even more unpredictable income than what we have now. And what I've found in my career is that a lot of people start thinking about retirement maybe when we reach about 45 and we start maybe having friends that retire and things aren't going well for them, or we start knowing of people who were doing well during their working years, but now that they're retired, they have health issues. So we start thinking of retirement vaguely when we get into our 40s. And then when we get into our 50s, it becomes more of an urgent matter.
It is.
Because now we know that we have 10 to 15 years to get into retirement. And by that time, if what you're going to be doing is saving toward retirement, it's going to be late because you need the power of investment compounding over about 30 years to really properly provide for you during your retirement years.
You also mentioned that it competes with funding for tertiary education. Tell us some more.
Yes, it does. By the time you get into your late 40s, early 50s, you're going to be dealing with life issues like, for instance, aging parents. Your children will probably now be entering tertiary education. If not, you're planning for it. You're looking at maybe some lifestyle issues, some debts that you need to be repaying. So there are a lot of competing financial issues that you're going to have as you get into that really high earning period of your life, but also a period where you need to plan for when your income is not going to be as high. What we've also found is there's a PIOJ report that indicates or confirms that 60% of our labor force have no pension coverage. That's a very serious percentage. What I've found again is that Jamaicans, it's not that we have no retirement plan. We may have some vague idea as to how income is going to be made when we retire, but we don't have a specific fund that we would call a retirement fund, whether it be a pension fund or something that is saved independently of a pension fund. Many of us don't have those funds put away or set aside.
Dedicated to retirement.
Right.
So you have the person who is the, I don't think I need to plan for retirement yet. And as you said, that's a big mistake. In your article, though, you also mentioned these thinkers. My government pension will be enough. Why is that a mistake, Janice?
Okay, there are a couple of reasons why it's a mistake. Thinking generally that your pension is going to be good enough is a flawed perception. So you may wonder what I mean by income replacement. What I mean is this: if your income at retirement was about $100,000 per month, what your pension is going to buy you, that amount that you've saved up over your career, is on average going to be 40% of the amount that you were earning. That is, instead of $100,000 a month, when you retire, you're going to be earning $40,000 a month. Your income will fall actually by $60,000. So that's a big difference in your income pre and post-retirement. So you need to understand that you're going to not only be living on a fixed income, but probably on an income that is significantly reduced to what you're used to earning. So whether it's that you're going to be getting a government pension or you're going to be retiring from some other pension fund, the fact is that many of us, because we haven't worked for 40 years with one employer, or the average may be more 20 years that you've worked, or less, maybe 15, 20 years to provide a pension, the income replacement is going to be about 40% of what you were earning. So you have to consider a considerable drop in your income every month when you eventually retire, if you have the benefit, which most of us don't have, of being in a pension fund when you eventually reach that age of normal retirement. Currently, the government is actively pursuing pension reform. That is, government workers are going to need, going forward, probably starting sometime in 2016, there is going to be an amount of government workers' salary that is put aside for their pension, to accumulate over time for their pension. The government as employer will probably also be contributing to this pension fund. But it should be noted that employees are going to have to pay toward this pension fund going forward. Now, that is before tax, and it probably won't be very noticeable in terms of the effect on their net pay. But it should be something that is considered. Additionally, when one retires, there is a national insurance scheme. It's a public pension scheme that we have in Jamaica that every worker in Jamaica has an opportunity to join. The amounts that you contribute per week, because it's calculated weekly, is normally minimal, and the benefit that you get is also not a lot. But when you think of the fact that every 2 weeks you may be getting $4,000 or $5,000, it's actually considerable and can pay maybe one bill during the month. So every working person in Jamaica should look at becoming a part of the National Insurance Scheme, and so that you will qualify for a pension from the scheme when you reach retirement age, which is 65.
In the article, Janice, you also spoke about the National Health Fund. That's the NHF and the NI Gold. Can you tell us some more?
When we retire, all of us know that as we get older, we're prone to lifestyle diseases, like, for instance, high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes. Some of us may actually suffer from allergies increasingly as we get older, and so you have adult onset asthma and other chronic diseases. The NHF and NI Gold provides prescription relief, prescription assistance for people with these chronic diseases. So it's important for us as we get older to really consider taking advantage of this, and it's open to all Jamaicans. We can apply for one of these prescription cards. All you need is your TRN number, and you immediately qualify as a Jamaican. It doesn't cost anything. The insurance doesn't cost anything. So as we get older and as we reach those retirement years, our health care is going to cost more and more over time. So whereas the NHF and the NI Gold doesn't assist us with medical bills relating to paying, for instance, for doctors, it does provide for relief for prescriptions.
Janice, you made several other key points in your article, but we're out of time. I'm sure there's a thought you want to leave us with.
Certainly. The point that I'd like to leave with our listeners is that when we're planning for retirement, do not only focus on your pension fund. A retirement plan is just that, a plan for when you retire. So your income is going to come from several sources, or may come from several sources. There may be your pension. There may be income from any real estate that you own. You may have rent coming in. You may have investments that you receive dividends on, or you receive coupons on bond payments. That's also income. You may be fortunate enough also to get income from your children, remittances every so often. So your retirement plan should include all of these considerations so that you know what is coming in and what you'll be spending, and you'll plan from there so that when you retire, your stress level is not where it could be when you retire without a plan.
Quite so. So it's 360 degrees, holistic.
Yes.
Janice Robinson Longmore, thank you so much. And we'll see you next week.
Yes, you will.
Thank you so much. Today's program will be available from JNFM's Facebook page. Listeners may email questions to jnfundmanagers@jnbs.com or contact us through our website or text us at 504-1719. That's 504-1719. So until next week, we share the reminder. Retirement is a journey, not a destination. Let's live each day appreciating the value of your here and now, even as we plan for the future. Take good care of yourself and others. Goodbye.